Hello, Professor Dr. Brown. Uh, this is Firoz Kumar Gumadi, and I'm presenting for Assignment 4 a topic about automated system test engagement here at UTAS Electric Systems. So the context of the problem is adopting automated system testing at the systems labs and within the facility here. It is proceeding at a pace that will not generate the efficiencies needed for programs under development. We anticipate much more programs to come in future, and if it goes at the same pace the way it is going right now, we won't be generating enough revenues out of testing, savings. As a consequence, the consequence of it not proceeding, programs are spending too much money in labs debugging manual test procedures, and we are not developing the reusable system test components that will further accelerate the use of automated testing and fully optimized verification costs. And the mission today is this presentation will help analyze the level of engagement, the AST. Here on, I'm going to be probably calling automated system testing as AST in electric systems development programs for the purposes of systems qualification and certification. The AST will replace the traditional exhaust tube manual testing, and it's supposed to be part of the standard work that everybody here at Electric Systems is going to be following. So just to summarize the concept of operation, it's very simple. So the automated system test, the AST setup, sets up the input conditions for the system similar to how the manual test will be run, and it collects the data from all the lab instruments, the calibrated equipment, and some of the aircraft comms services to verify that the inputs are set right. And then it also determines the system outputs and evaluates the pass-fail criteria, and finally it generates an automated system test report. So given a test, you get a report out. So it's very simple. And what's the big deal in following this concept? That's been the question for a long time. It's not so difficult, and why are people not following this? And why are people struggling to catch up with this concept? So I think this presentation, when I was putting together, I did think a few things that I will definitely go back and apply at my workplace, and I'll probably mention these things to the management as well. I think I would like to really develop this a little further. So initially I put together a slide about linear thinking. So if we were to do linear thinking in trying to analyze the automated system test engagement, we would simply be saying, yeah, people don't like to use the new techniques, and what's wrong with these people? They don't just, we ask them to do something and they don't do it, and they are not competent. These are the things, at least right now, going on, and for quite some time, for maybe 6-7 years. It's probably a long time. We're getting to a point where we're taking that as a norm, and I guess if we don't do anything now, it's going to stay that way for a long time. And it's mainly that the management keep telling that this is the way to do it, and engineering team keep finding reasons why they do not want to do it and keep going back to manual testing. Although the systems labs are automation capable, meaning all these systems are built as automation labs, we have partial success in some actually almost every program, because the labs are built that way. We start with all the enthusiasm, and then we struggle to get to the next level of success. And so it's basically too many false starts. And so keeping the systems thinking hat, and then I had to really think a little further into it. So apart from asking what's wrong with the people who are asked to do certain things, we'll be examining if they really do not like these new techniques, meaning writing scripts and understanding all the infrastructure, and etc. And we may even want to ask why these techniques are even required in the first place, right? So we are saying that we're going to save a bunch of money. Is that really true? Maybe, maybe not. So we need to show them enough evidence that it is in fact true. So we need to do further analysis into that. What are the mental models of each individual involved in ASD about what is the use of it and how it saves cost, right? So why are people not convinced if there is enough data to back up the claim that automated system testing saves money in the long run? Are we all nearsighted? Maybe. It seems that way. Yeah, the programs are so tight about we want to save these weeks of money. We don't want to really think anything more long term than a week. So I'm not sure. Maybe that's getting to some conclusions too early. But yeah. So also how is the financial performance of the company affecting the initiatives like this? So if the company is not doing good, and we've been enforcing all kinds of cost cuttings on company funded activities, such as this, in which case they get started and stopped many times, and all this context switching takes a lot of effort, and it slows the progress down. Sorry, I have mentioned this. The problem is multifaceted a couple of times. Realize that. And these are the various aspects that are involved. I don't want to bore you by reading these things. So we need to change the mindset of in the engineering organization. And apart from changing the way we perform testing, we probably need to incentivize people in embracing these new technologies. Meaning, if we try to enforce something new, they have to have vested interest in taking the ownership and doing it. And if they don't, then it's not going anywhere. And also marketing the proof of concept was very important. The partial successes we had on many programs, we have to capitalize on that. It could be that the incompetent and not so self-motivated workforce, we have probably a bunch of those people, not sure how to motivate them right away. We need to think about how to motivate them, hopefully incentivizing that kind of workforce might help. One-on-one training, that's something that I personally had a great results with. I have probably helped like 5-6 guys on different programs, and they did a good job in taking this forward in those programs. So whenever I say program, it's an airplane program like Embraer, E2, Bombardier, C-Series, Boeing 787, 777X. Programs, Global 7000, these are different aircraft programs that our company is working on. And we probably should conduct some Kaizen events to do more deep dive analysis into putting all the puzzles that are missing here. And I put a small causal loop diagram, all the different stakeholders playing into the ASD engagement, and then it leads to the automated system testing. which is part of is the system testing. And if we do all this right, and then it affects financial performance either positively or negatively. And what I also showed is if we do the AST engagement right, and then we have cost savings, which is a positive thing, and then we'll end up probably investing more of that into the engaging it more, which might save more money. So I mark this as a balanced loop. Sorry, I forgot to move the slide. Keep back. So as I said, all these arrows are pointing into the AST engagement of the contributors, and then there is a feedback loop into cost savings, and then the more AST engagement we have, we'll have more cost savings. And I mark this as a balanced loop because we'll be investing back some of the money into the engagement again, and some money may go back into the financial performance. So not quite sure whether it is completely reinforcing, because if it is a reinforcing loop, then we'll be making lots of money, or at least cap it to how much you can save. There is probably an optimum point where you can't save any further because you still have some costs. And then so the next two slides are going to be asking some questions. These are typical questions, and I would like to ask everybody who are involved in here, and some of the questions are targeted more towards management. For this initiative to be successful, the mindset of the people needs to change. How can it be changed? Like I would take an example as Apple. So they package the solutions at an abstraction level where people get connected to their products. So can proper training material motivate them? Is the current material that is available not enough or not in a very friendly format? Do they feel inferior with the current skills? Maybe training can empower to overcome this. Is the standard work that is available in this area enough? Maybe it is not user-friendly, and users might be feeling the overburden of all the paperwork that is associated with the standard work. Are they reusing some of the scripting libraries that they have, or are they trying to reinvent the wheel? The proper guidance and liaison between various programs is necessary to avoid the additional work. So the lessons learned are supposed to be used appropriately in this case. Did the people in charge of this initiative conduct an MFA, meaning going to different stakeholders and getting their pain points and using all this new stuff? The management using the success stories on one program to motivate the people. Hey, look, how much they have saved on one program. Why can't you do this? Which kind of challenge them at the personal level. How does the customers feel about this initiative? Are they engaged from the beginning? Are they coming in towards the end and they push it back? How do we better engage all the stakeholders involved? That's basically the bigger question. And finally, the conclusion. So the world of engineering is always changing to be more complex and integrated in nature. The complexity compounded by the tight schedule demands optimized ways of performing some of the system lifecycle activities. As we all know, that majority of the program cost is the V&V activities. So AST is one answer. We'll have more programs. We'll have more programs if we convince the customers that we can perform the verification of the system much faster than other competition and in less time. So as a result, hopefully the company gets more revenue and invests a portion of the profits in more new technology, which in turn will bring more business. This results in a balanced feedback loop which keeps the company growth at a healthy rate, at least keeping in these areas. So this is my presentation for the assignment, and I hope to develop this a little further and submit to my management and see what they want to do. Maybe have some Kaizen events. That's what I'm hoping, that all these questions can be tried. People involved can try to answer some of these questions, and then we can come up with an action plan and go try to do something. Thank you. I was a little over time here. Okay, stop here. Thanks.